play behind Cam Smith or Darius Rush, you're going to learn things from those guys. They're going to communicate and talk to you, and I think he did a great job of learning from those guys and also still being Marcellus Dow, and I think he's looking forward and up to the chance of now being the guy.
You guys have lost, obviously, a lot of talent from last year, but that's nothing new. I mean, it happens every year. With this group, though, how do you kind of relay that to them? Be like, hey, we've been able to do a lot of great things, a group that's been able to create a lot of turnovers the last 2 years, but we can't get comfortable because last year means nothing.
Oh, no. Well, part of having to have a different secondary group every year is you got to have a chip. And so I always come to work with a chip. I always got a chip on my shoulder. Doesn't matter how many turnovers we had the last 2 seasons or what we did, good or bad, man. We're concerned about this year and being the best secondary we can be this year, and that's the chip and the approach we try to bring each day, and that I try to relay that message to them.
We were talking about it the other day, but with DQ Smith, what do you want to see from him to be able to take that next step in camp?
I want to see him continue to do the things that he's been doing. You know, for a true freshman to play as many snaps as he played in the SEC, and you can see the improvement, you can see the growth. Well, if he continues to stay along the lines with what he's doing and just continue to execute, be right in his reads, and continue to do those things, man, I think the kid can be an all-conference guy in this league.
Another thing, too, is, especially with defensive backs, we know that, especially the younger guys, those are going to be the guys that usually have the most opportunities when it comes to special teams. We've seen a lot of those guys make the most out of it. How proud have you been of those back-end guys who may get in there? Obviously, starters get in there as well, but making the most out of their opportunities on special teams and being able to grab your attention.
Very, very proud of those guys because obviously Coach Limbo does a great job with the special teams. And the quickest way, you take DQ in the first game last year, he gets a touchdown. The quickest way you can get playing time is to really buy into what we're doing on special teams. And by the snaps you get on special teams, now you can transition into being a defensive player. So I think it's invaluable to snap those guys do. And we're going to need the Jalen Kilgores, the Bakari Swains, the Zabari Sandys, Judge Carlys, all these freshman guys to be able to help us out and be factors on special teams for us. Thank you.
Nick even worry too. Coach Beamer talked about the Arkansas game where he comes in and makes almost 20 tackles and is making wrap-ups on KJ Jefferson. Not an easy guy to bring down.
Absolutely.
But, what kind of impact did he have on you guys last year, and what kind of jump do you think he can make going into year 2?
Nick can make a huge jump. Like I said, I think the Arkansas game, which is the second game of the year, was his best game of the year. Well, that means I had this phenomenal game, and then I kind of never beat that the rest of the year. So there's definitely a lot of room for improvement. We didn't make any plays away from the ball as far as interception and those things. So those are things that we're conscious of, we're aware of, that we're talking about, that he can be better with. So there's a lot of things, room for improvement, which is exciting for me as a coach.
And then, of course, losing Cam Smith's a pretty big loss. He played pretty well, towards the end of the year. How was replenishing that going to be a challenge for you guys this upcoming year?
Like I said, it's definitely a challenge when you lose 2 guys to the NFL at one position. So that's why we're counting on Marcellus Dow or Donna Fortune, and we got a group of young guys that's going to have to be able to step up.